Cancer treatment can of course be incredibly gruelling, but how risky is it to reject conventional therapies? Sean Walsh was a young musician from Liverpool who had blood cancer, but turned down chemotherapy and believed he could cure his cancer through alternative treatments. Now his family have spoken to a BBC Three documentary to warn others not to follow the same approach. Our health correspondent Dominic Hughes reports.
How was I supposed to know that you would walk out that door? Don't come and lose.
Sean Walsh, well known on Liverpool's music scene, was first diagnosed as a teenager with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of blood cancer.
You just don't imagine that your child's going to have cancer. It just doesn't enter your head, does it?
Sean endured the rigours of chemotherapy, and at first it looked like the treatment had worked. But less than 2 years later, some devastating news.
The cancer was back. He had to undergo chemotherapy with a stem cell transplant. So obviously this was just not what Sean wanted to hear. He didn't want to do it all over again.
Why would you poison yourself back to good health?
Sean decided to treat the cancer himself through alternative therapies. He was also having scans at a clinic run by Philip and Rosa Hughes, Medical Thermal Imaging, which Sean believed were monitoring his cancer. It's legal to offer these scans, but the NHS warns there's no evidence that thermography is an effective way to test for cancer or monitor its treatment. Sean's scans did carry a disclaimer from the company, stating thermography does not see or diagnose cancer and recommended further clinical investigation. But the scan results seemed reassuring, and Sean believed his cancer had gone. We asked cancer specialist Professor Andrew Wardley of Manchester's Christie Hospital to review secret filming in which Rosa Hughes, who provided scans for Sean, makes some troubling medical claims to our reporter.
They've referred you to the breast clinic, haven't they? Yeah. When you go to the breast clinic, what I'd like you to do is have an ultrasound rather than a mammogram.
Not a mammogram?
Not a mammogram, because you're going to get radiated and it's going to squash, and the amount of women that have their tumours, if it is a tumour burst, that spreads cancer.
So that's preposterous. You don't burst tumours, they're solid. You do squash the breast down to do a mammogram. It is unpleasant, but it's a short-term thing. You do not spread cancer by doing a mammogram. That's complete fallacy.
Rosa and Philip Hughes say they utterly reject the allegation that they gave Sean Walsh inappropriate advice. But Sean's family believe the scans gave him false hope. He thought he'd cured himself. In reality, he was dying.
He had a tumour the size of a grapefruit in his stomach. He had tumours all in his chest and stuff. Just got on the bed with him and just said, "Come on, Sean."
Sean died in January 2019, aged just 23.
You're vulnerable when you've got cancer. And you're all going to believe certain people who are actually making money out of the cancer industry through vulnerable people.
And you can watch the full investigation, False Hope, Alternative Cancer Cures. It's on BBC Three on the BBC iPlayer.